next motion, Senator John Whelan. You have 4 minutes, Senator.
Thank you very much, Cathaoirleach, and thank you for taking this question today, because it is a matter of great urgency, and I'm particularly heartened to see the Minister for Justice here herself. She's particularly welcome. Minister, I don't say this lightly. Your reputation precedes you as someone who is considerate, caring, courteous and credible, and it's those attributes that I'm appealing to today, because I'm asking for you to personally intervene as the line minister, as the minister responsible in what is a festering dispute between the Irish Prison Service and the Prison Officers Association. It's only going to end up one way, Minister, because the prison officers believe that they are now being backed into a corner and that they have no option but to take a stand and ballot for industrial action. Minister, I actually agree with the prison officers. They have given everything it is possible to give. They have given up savings in terms of the Croke Park Agreement, verifiable by your predecessor and Minister Howland to the tune of 21 million. Under Haddington Road, a further verifiable savings of 11.5 million. They're not afraid of reforms and they're not afraid of change. However, Minister, it is now becoming apparent to me that it is hard to distinguish in the prison system sometimes as to who is serving their community, who is serving the country and who is serving time. Prison officers believe that their health and safety and well-being is being put at risk for the want of the unilateral attempts to unilaterally introduce new work practices and changes without proper recourse to negotiation and reasonable, meaningful consultation with their representative body, their union, the POA. There is a belief now, and it's not posturing or positioning, Minister, amongst the prison officers on the ground, on the front line, that there is an attempt by elements within the Irish Prison Service to sideline and marginalise the POA so that they have no function or role in proper and adequate and reasonable negotiation for any changes. And that, of course, is not acceptable. Minister, I'm asking you to call off the elements, the attack dogs within the Irish Prison Service who are putting prison officers' health and safety at risk through the attitude that they are taking towards what would normally be addressed in due course through meaningful consultation and negotiation. Minister, if you go down the road to the Lewis, you will see security staff with stab vests and equipment. If you go down to Heuston Station, which is a peaceful concourse, you will see security staff with better equipment and stab vests than our prison officers have when they're dealing with serious criminals who are becoming increasingly violent and more vicious. This is not acceptable. But this industrial action that is looming in our prisons, which will be unsafe and dangerous, and indeed it's something the country does not need at this time, is not about stab vests. It's about prison officers being of the belief, not without foundation, that they're being stabbed in the back by elements within their own management who are putting their safety and their well-being and their welfare at risk, perhaps to further their own careers within the department and within the prison service system. Minister, I think this can be diffused and this can be solved by you if you intervene, because all it requires is some common sense, some fair play, to acknowledge and accept that the prison officers are involved daily in a very atrocious and dangerous and difficult and challenging work environment. They do not need to be backed into a corner, and for that job and that stress to be added to any further by their own management that has a duty of care and responsibility to ensure their health and safety and welfare. But on the contrary, they seem to be determined to be at odds and to draw the POA into confrontation. And the POA have no choice in this instance but to ballot for strike action. And Minister, I strongly recommend and urge you to intervene to defuse this situation. Thank you.